on a lot of things, but it's not impossible even though it seems like it might be. There's just a lot of moving parts and a lot of things that you have to pay attention to.
Gotta pay attention. Anyways, it's 5 a.m.
But thankfully, I'm already at the end of the road here, and I have officially won it, so thanks for listening.
6 a.m. Yeah! Shh. Everybody stay quiet. Shut.
Father, it's me, Michael.
Listen.
I did it. I found it. It was right where you said it would be. They were all there. They didn't recognize me at first, but then they
Golden
thought
Freddy.
I was you. And I found her. I put her back together, just like you asked me to. She's free now. But something is wrong with me. I should be dead, but I'm not. I've been living in shadows. There is only one thing left for me to do now. I'm going to come find you. I'm going to come find you.
Yo! No way, that's... Yo.
Oh, is that the next game? I don't know.
It got to be.
Fazbear's Fright? I have no idea.
Fazbear's
That was
Fright.
an experience. Man, I'm full of pep. Adrenaline is coursing through my veins. Okay, so if you think about
Pepsi.
that,
Coke.
when
Coca-Cola.
I do think that it is probably impossible to beat it beforehand because the nights beforehand were 7 minutes and 30 seconds long. This night is 6 minutes long. Each hour is a minute, and therefore there's a minute and 30 seconds of extra time that you would need to do to be able to beat it in its previous incarnation, or at least that's what I'm assuming it is in terms of him giving more power. But in all honesty, I don't think that would have been possible just because of how tight the constraints were. I was having so much problem yesterday is because you have to do these 2020 modes, you have to focus for
Hello,
like
I'm
6 to 8
Markiplier.
minutes straight, depending on the game. And I would say this one's very hard, but not like the hardest I've ever done, mostly because it may seem
what's up, guys? My
complicated,
brother's here.
but everything in this particular one has a rhythm. See, I was able to combine the Electrobab and the Mini Rena into one. They were in a set rhythm. They would go off at exactly the same time, so I was always able to predict that. And for a long time, I was just letting Foxy go because I didn't think that Foxy stole power like in Five Nights at Freddy's 1, but she does. So as soon as I accounted for that, I only needed a few more tries and then I was able to beat it. Because yesterday, I realized that towards the later end of my attempts, but I was starting to feel so sick and I was just like coughing up a bunch of phlegm and it wasn't good. But today I felt peppier. Not the worst. I would put it just before the first Five Nights at Freddy's in terms of difficulty. All in all, not that bad. Kind of boring compared to the other ones in terms of just the monotony of it, because this one is very monotonous because it's the same thing coming at you again and again and again and again. You just gotta do the same thing over and over. But I would say a pretty good one, not bad at all. And that cutscene is very interesting because he said father, and he thought I was you. So, did he... I gotta think
That's
about
where the
that.
question comes in.
I wish I could watch
But
it again. What I'm
Markiplier's
gonna do is I'm
gonna
gonna watch it again, and then I'm gonna come back and get more thoughts about it because I wasn't able to capture everything. But I'll go look it up in just a second. Be right back. All right, so I just watched back the cutscene, and there's a few interesting things to take note of it. Number one, the guy says his name was Michael, and number two, he's talking to his father. And number three, he's talking to him, telling him that he shouldn't be alive. Now, at the end of the cutscene, it showed the blown up wreckage of Five Nights at Freddy's 3 after the protagonist lights the fucker on fire and burns it all down. And it was revealed at the end of Five Nights at Freddy's 3 that Springtrap did survive that. So I can only assume that from this cutscene, Michael Michael Afton, who I'm assuming that is because his father, they're all British. The person at the beginning of this game was Mr. Afton, and I'm assuming that they're all the Afton family. And I'm even assuming that the daughter who keeps talking to her father, asking to go see Baby, and was eventually killed by Baby, was their daughter and Michael's sister. But all that aside, it showed Michael as Springtrap surviving the explosion, which we already knew for Five Nights at Freddy's 3, but that VO could have taken place at any time throughout. Now, there's been some theories saying that there are two purple guys, and I could understand that
Michael
in
Afton,
terms of like a
which is
father-son
like
duo. There could be
the son,
two purple
and then
guys in
Mr.
this, and
Afton,
just
like
kind of having a powwow of murdering and creating horrible
the real one.
monstrosities of death and weird life. And you could kind of see it in terms of the timeline. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. I might be wrong about this timeline, but I believe it goes, the oldest is Five Nights at Freddy's 4, which was 1983 or 4, in the original Fazbear's Pizzeria, Fazbear's Fun Time, whatever it was called. I believe that was the original. Then, and in that, you can see cutscenes of Purple Guy not being a murderer, but just generally seeming like an employee, putting employees in suits of his horrible creations. Now, you go to Sister Location, where Michael is sent in by his father to try to piece together what's left of his sister and their daughter, and I can't help but be drawn to the comparison of Ennard to
the puppet.
The puppet from
Yeah.
Five Nights at Freddy's 2, because the puppet in the mini games wanted to piece the dead children back together. Now, to what end, I don't know, but this creation, whatever it is, Ennard somehow was able to give Michael Afton near supernatural powers of living beyond death when you should not be alive. He went in Michael's body, transformed him into literal Purple Guy,
But then he spit
and
it
then
out.
was exploded out. Now, maybe that happened to their father. Maybe that was already the case. I don't know. It doesn't seem possible because everyone in the neighborhood was very intimidated by this purple fellow by the name of Michael Afton and Purple Guy walking around the streets. But it's all just very confusing, you know. And I say comparisons just by the button, the mask, the 3 to 4 fingers, the spiral leg matching the spiral pattern of the puppet, like, and the general marionette nature of this creation here. There's a little bit of me and everybody pulling the strings. That's the only thing that I could thematically draw from that. And of course, I am not a master theorist. I know a lot about this, but I don't know everything. So these are only the conclusions that I can draw. So
now you can call
there
him
may be two
the
purple guys.
king.
This was
Of
Michael
Five
Afton.
Nights at Freddy's.
His father is Mr. Afton, and it's possible that his sister was the girl that was killed by Baby, and he was sent on a mission to try to put her back together because his father literally created life in these machines, and somehow in a perverted way, maybe this Purple Guy who got forced into Springtrap and was haunted by the souls of dead children was corrupted in a wrong way, turning life into something perverted by something that is by itself perverted life in this. It's all a very complicated story, or maybe it's simplifying. I have no idea. I would love to see a grand outline of everything from top to bottom, but I feel like we are not quite there yet. I feel like there might be one more game going, or maybe not. Honestly, who knows? But this one, Sister Location, was really fun. I liked it. It was a welcome change from everything that I've seen thus far, and it really hammered home the interesting story behind everything. And I like that a lot. And it was a pretty good challenge in Custom Night. I don't know if I ranked the difficulty, but I said Five Nights at Freddy's 2, Five Nights at Freddy's 1, this game, Five Nights at Freddy's 4, and then Five Nights at Freddy's 3. That's what I'd say in terms of difficulty for the 2020 modes. But either way, thank you everybody so much for watching. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. And as always, I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye!
Okay. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Click the like button and click that like button. Oh, and this is a life hack. You know, when you click that like button, it turns blue. No fucking way. Anyway, see you later. See you later. Bye-bye.